If you're into large rocks and you're into hiking, Zion National Park is going to be pretty up there on your list of hikes to do that contain large rocks. In fact, you might end up planning a trip from the other side of the world. Stay up until 2 AM in the morning to see if you can get your little Vegemite hands on some permits. I had secured a spot for an overnight hike through the Narrows, one of Zion National Park's most iconic experiences. Wading through the depths of the canyon, walls towering either side of you. An adventure I had long dreamed of. And right when I was on the brink of departing, this happened. Do you hear that? That is the sound of your Narrows overnight hiking permit being cancelled. When a flash flood warning is issued, a slot canyon, without exaggeration, is one of the most dangerous places you could be. As much as it tore at me to do so, I cancelled my permit, and swiftly found an alternative, one where I would not drown. The Verkin Creek Trail. It's probably the first hike I've ever done in my entire life where I have not researched it properly. I like to create my own itinerary and time frame and the weather and just have all that information with me. Some highlights. So we're going in a bit blind. Because of the situation, I'm a little bit disappointed, so I'm going to manifest and say that this is going to be the best overnight hike I've ever been on. Because really, look at those walls behind us. Absolutely stunning right now, and I love the mix of the red dirt, red rock faces, and lots of green vegetation. The sun's out, feels good to be hiking. Day 1. Lee Pass Trailhead to Verkin Creek Campsite 6. Distance 9 kilometers. Time approximately 3 hours. This trail is located in Kolob Canyons, nestled away in the northwest corner of Zion National Park. This area was first recognized as a national monument in 1937, but officially became part of Zion National Park in 1956. It's roughly a 50-minute drive to the trailhead from Zion's main park entrance, offering those a quieter yet just as spectacular hiking experience. So quiet, in fact, that even some of the wildlife might stop to say hello. I just saw something. Oh my god, is that a... Oh! Can you see that? I'm editing this and I can't even see it. I'm on the GoPro. It's staring right at me. Luckily, this guy was nice enough to hang around while I switched cameras. Hey, buddy. What you're looking at here is a grey fox. It is thought to be one of the most primitive of the canid lineage, meaning it reaches the furthest back in time. It's primarily active at twilight and night, so it felt rather special to see one. Oh, and it climbs trees. It's basically a cat puppy. Bye! I'm hoping that I can showcase this hike, and if you're ever in the same situation where you have to cancel something in this area due to the weather or for whatever reason, then maybe you could do this hike and be just as excited for it. We'll see. We'll see. So just approached campsite number 1. It's been 1 hour 40 roughly. That includes filming time. I figured on this hike, if I can, I'm going to show you as many as the campsites as possible. So let's do a quick detour and check out campsite number 1 for your curiosity. Your tent site. Whoa, got some rocks. Started raining just as I sat down for some lunch. But guess what we have for lunch? Good guess. Subway. Not only is it Subway, but it's my first time eating Subway in the United States of America. My normal order is chicken fillet. Subway USA do not have chicken fillet. They also don't have carrot, which I found quite surprising. So we've gone for turkey. I'm very excited to compare the differences. You ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Pretty good. I do think Subway Australia might be a little bit better. Shh. Oh my god. There was a European wasp by me eating breakfast this morning. How's another one? I always thought those guys weren't so bad because they kind of look like bees, but I got stung by one in New Zealand on my forearm, and it just stayed there, the bite and the itch, for about 3 weeks. It was bad, the worse than I thought. So now I never want to get bitten by one of them. Now, in case any of you are wasp fanatics, it wasn't until 2010 that the North American version was classed as its own species, so technically different to the ones we have down here in Australia and New Zealand, but equally as talented at spawning into your personal space when you have food. Oh, little waspy boy who likes Subway. It's a very slow moving cloud. Alrighty friends, part of this hike is you have to carry out all human waste. You can't dig cat holes or anything. You gotta pack out all your toilet paper, all your doings. Earlier in this trip, I had bought a cooler cloth. If you don't know what a cooler cloth is, looks like this. You can get all different cool patterns. Save bringing in the old toilet paper. So I'm about to use one for the first time. Wow. Wow. Will I cut this entire segment from the video? Back on the track. So one of the highlights of this track that I did manage to research in my 10-minute crash course about this track is that it has a rather impressive arch called Kolob Arch. So our intention for this hike is to set up camp, campsite number 6, and if we get there in good time, we will leave our stuff there and go out to see this arch. But we can also do it tomorrow morning, so it'll just depend on how we feel. I think the rain is meant to come this evening, so it might be a bit better to do it tomorrow. So, you know, you got good things to look forward to on this hike. Big arches. Just singular, not plural. A big arch. So one thing that I am finding quite funny is Dan has been hiking ahead, but there are people hiking in the opposite direction. And there's been 2 separate people that have said to Dan, oh, we saw fresh mountain lion tracks. And those same people who I've said hello to haven't said that to me. Something that I'd like to know about. Maybe I look like I can take on a mountain lion. While I show you campsite number 2, I have a conspiracy I'd like to present to you. There were no fresh mountain lion tracks spotted. Dan just made this up as a way to scare me in hopes that we would turn back. Why? Because this is the same day as the Aussie Rules Football Grand Final, to which his team is playing. And I would never underestimate the power a football team has over a man. Here is the next clue to support this theory. Dan actually decided to turn back and go back to the car. He's just not feeling it. Not feeling it. So I find myself on my first solo hike in the United States of America. Now you're stuck with me. I didn't expect to be doing this particular hike, nor had I imagined I'd be walking it alone. Yet as plans fell away, in those steps there was gratitude. Not for a replacement, but for a path that stood on its own. This trail was welcoming me, revealing its landscape. A chance for me to connect with this area the best way I know how. By hiking. Standing in the creek bed, let me just play some nice soothing water sounds for you so you can enjoy the wonderful creek that would be. That was very bliss. Dare I say, maybe number 3 is my favourite? Maybe they'll just keep getting better. There are 13 designated campsites along this trail. You will need a backcountry permit in order to camp here. You can complete this track as a return hike like I'm doing, or if you organise some transport, you can explore further in. Another popular option is to finish at Hot Valley. Campsite number 4. This one kind of looks like it's the least private so far. This trail is literally just there, lots of space. Seating arrangements. I will say though, campsite 4 gets some water. Not to drink, just to look at. I should mention here that there is currently harmful cyanobacteria present in the water, which is unable to be filtered out. You can currently filter drinking water from an unnamed spring near campsite 7 or Beatty Spring, located between sites 10 and 11. These usually flow year-round. Do you think I'll actually be able to beat the rain? I think I'll be cutting it very fine. Number 5. Pretty impressive view. Let's go have a quick browse. I just saw a massive lightning strike over there. Shouldn't be too far away. Hopefully I can get there before needing to put on my rain jacket. I'm getting drenched. As noted by a park ranger in the intentions behind this attention sign, bears have been spotted in the area. I'm used to hiking in areas where animals don't possess the ability to maul your face off. So please, join me as I attempt my first ever bear hang. How to sit on a tree. Food. First aid kit. Sunscreen. And toiletries. Scented items. Okay. Remember, no judging the Australian, or I'll throw spiders at you. My theory is I'm going to tie it to a little rock, and I can throw this rock. Right? Let's pretend we know what we're doing. You know, one thing I would like to learn is different knots. I think that would be really cool. I can piff things. Let's go to the food tree. It's stuck on the gradient of the tree. Take 3. Well, hello. Welcome to my abode. I have gotten changed, gotten warm, and I have set up a little home. Mattress, sleeping bag liner, sleeping bag. It stopped raining. Yay. Let me show you the campsite in the non-rain. You've got some nice sand around, so it is like you're in with a private beach. A tranquil place to cook dinner. I interrupt this soothing montage to make fun of myself for how many times I look over my shoulder thinking a mountain lion is going to creep up behind me, mistaking me for a small child. While we're on the fun American food, this was at REI, pink refueled brownie bites. I could save it for dessert, or I could just have a little nibble right now. It kind of looks like pellets of like dog food, cat food. They remind me of eating those Ovaltines, those little circle dry ones. Okay, I've put some of my cat food in this container and I'm gonna add a dash of water and see what it turns out like. My theory is that you could boil some water in your pot, pour it into this entire packet, and then you could have like a warm brownie. I feel like I need to buy some of these to take home, just to test out that theory. That sun is just about gone. Good morning. It is a very still morning. I am going to get my things ready, leave my tent set up, go see the arch, come back and head on out. Day 2. The Verkin Creek Campsite 6 to Kolob Arch and return to Lee Pass Trailhead. Distance 13.5 kilometers. Time approximately 5 to 6 hours. Kolob Canyons was given its name by the early Mormon settlers. Kolob means the star nearest to the throne of God. They felt this place gave a feeling of closeness to the divine, connecting their spiritual beliefs with the natural features.
this melody, but can't keep no time. Yeah, I got a head full of words and can't none satisfy. Well, I got this rhythm moving in my heart. Oh, but no end to show and it's tearing me apart. Well, she can bring me laughter, she can make me cry.
This looks like a little place to have the old horses. And we've got some signs here. Arch, 0.5 miles. This way. Lee Pass, that's where we came from. This now feels like a very long 800 meters. I feel like the arch is gonna pop out of nowhere. Now you're actually meant to stop here. This is the arch behind me. I don't really know what my brain was doing, but I got distracted by the other paths nearby. There's a path this way. There's also a path this way. This is where the spontaneity of doing this trail caught up with me. Is it that hard to find a giant arch? I hiked further on before I realized. What a unique perspective. Kolob Arch speaks to the quiet and powerful carving of time. It has a length of 87.5 meters or 287 feet, making it one of the largest natural arches in the world. It's a nice arch. One of the best arches I've ever seen. Alright, so campsite 8 and 9 still had some people there enjoying their morning, so I didn't want to be a weirdo with a camera and start filming them. But I did just get a glimpse of campsite number 7. I'll probably do a little whoosh, whoosh, and then we'll be back at campsite number 6 to pack up, eat some food, and be on our merry way. Alright, made it back. Time to disassemble my life. At least my tent is dry after the rain yesterday. One last moment to take in this view. There is always a sense of accomplishment when you come out the other side of a hike, but this will claim an extra special place in my timeline. It's a type of environment that resonates with me deeply. Red rock and its fiery hues that shift with the light. This place feels like home, but not in a sense of familiarity. It's for reasons I still don't know, and maybe doesn't require an answer. Now let's hike the remaining 9 kilometers together in montage form so we can pretend it wasn't all uphill. Soundtrack, please. Kilometer 1, kilometer 2, kilometer 3, kilometer 4, kilometer 5. I wonder how alternative timeline Hayley is going on day 2 of the Narrows hike. Hope she's loving it. Goodbye lunch spot on the first day. Bye! Everything looks so different when there's not ominous storm clouds overhead. And also, kilometer 6. Kilometer 7. Kilometer 8. Last kilometer. I see it. I see the trailhead. Trailhead! Woo! In my message to the Narrows, I'm guessing you knew I wouldn't have seen this place otherwise. So thank you for sending me here. But just so you know, I'll be back. Get a load of that handsome devil.